On tonight's Two Wheels Better, Jeff gives you his tips on how to store your beloved bike in winter. Paul puts Yamaha's totally classy Thunderace through its paces. And Jeff takes a closer look at the Honda Pan-European. Plus, we'll also be finding out all about Wayne's boots.
Hi, and welcome to a very wintry edition of Two Wheels Better. You can probably tell that from my breath. You can also tell it looking at the bike, covered in frost, over the seat and over the screen. But there is an alternative to leaving your pride and joy out in the cold. If you've got a garage, you can actually wrap it up. You can wrap it up in a sculptured bike cover. This one's made by Profile, made of acrylic material. In fact, it's sweatshirt material. And it's tailored, made to measure for the bike of your dreams, or the bike you just happen to have, even if it's not your dreams. It's even got little pockets here for the mirrors, so it fits it like a glove. It's tailored around the screen, and it's even got tie-on straps to go underneath the bike. So it'll keep it nice and warm and dry. Well, I'm not so sure about the dry bit, but it'll keep it nice and warm, dust-free for the winter. And then come the spring, whip the cover off, and away you go. What could be better than that, eh? I wouldn't mind one of these myself. You might have heard of Boil in the Bag. Well, this one is bike in a bag. In fact, it's the Corridom bag. This is made of a polyethylene material, and it's impregnated with special corrosion inhibitors. So you can wrap your bike in this, and then all during the winter or any layoff period, it's guaranteed for 9 months, it'll slowly sort of give up its corrosion inhibitors and stop the bike going rusty, stop aluminium corroding, stop the paintwork dulling, all these amazing magical things. The bag, in fact, is made up of 2 parts, and as you can see, along here is double-sided tape. You just peel off the strip there and join the 2 halves together. But the first thing you have to do is join the 2 ends, and it makes a sort of a boat shape and encases the bike, if you like, in the hull of the boat. So we just peel that off, pull the 2 ends together. I feel like a presenter on a kids programme here. Stick it up there, just pull it taut, stick it together, making sure I don't stick my finger in it. And there we go, one part of the envelope. Well, I might have formed the boat bit okay, but putting the upper decks on is a bit of a pain, I must say. This double-sided tape, as you can probably see, is a little bit messy. But the good news is that Corridom have developed one of those push-together zips, like you get on poly bags, resealable bags. And you'll just be able to run your thumb and forefinger along and seal the thing up. And something else they've developed, these little anti-corrosion chemicals, they'll be available in aerosol, so in fact the bag will be entirely reusable, and all you'll do is undo the zip. You can see this problem we're having here. Undo the zip, a quick squirt with your old aerosol, and it'll maintain the corrosion inhibition properties. So no problem with that. So there we have it, the bike in the bag. A little bit fiddly to put on, this sealing method not too good, but the new closure system that they've introduced now will be much better. So for £45 for the new system, not too bad at all, and it will keep your bike free from corrosion through the winter months. But one extra tip, whatever you do, don't wrap your bike up in this bag and leave it by the bin. You might find it gone next morning.
Well, this week I'm at Colin Appleyard Motorcycles in Yorkshire, and this is what I found lurking in the corner of the showroom. This is the bike that's been seen on every pub car park and on every rally in the late 80s and early 90s. The superbike of the early 90s, Yamaha's FZR 1000 X-Up. This was the bike to beat all bikes in its day, and as you can see, still in great demand. But Yamaha have gone forward from this and technology moves on, and they're after now beating Honda's Fireblade. And just look what they've come up with to do that. This is the successor to the X-Up. This is an altogether totally different looking machine. Gone are the gaudy colours of the late 80s and 90s, and this has got an altogether much more classy look. Completely new fairing, new shaped windscreen, and a totally new frame. This is 1002 cc's of awesome power. And beneath this sleek fairing, there's an inline water-cooled transverse 4-cylinder engine with 20 valves, double overhead camshaft, and the fuel system is 4 38mm Mikuni carbs. The gearbox is a conventional Yamaha 5-speed and the drive to the rear wheel is by a conventional chain. The thing about high speeds and top performance is you've got to have incredibly powerful brakes, and this machine is provided at the front with twin discs and 4-piston calipers which give incredible stopping power. To the rear there's a single disc and a twin piston caliper. Suspension on this machine is quite conventional. The front, the straightforward 48mm forks which are fully adjustable for rebound and preload. At the back there's a single monoshock which is also fully adjustable. This huge fuel tank carries actually 19 litres of fuel, and it's claimed you can get around 40 miles to the gallon, although not at 160 miles an hour all day you won't. 165 miles per hour is the claimed top speed of this machine, and it develops around 145 brake horsepower. And at 9,249 pounds, you're dying to see what it's like on the road. Well, so am I. Well, this is the Thunderace on the road, and I must say, when I first looked at it, I thought it looked big and bulky and heavy. But at 198 kilograms, it's actually got the best power to weight ratio in its class. And once the wheels are rolling, all the weight just disappears. This is an easy bike to drive fast. There's no effort in this at all. The bike does all the work for you. The brakes on this machine are really quite exceptional, and it wouldn't be too difficult to actually stand it on its nose. The riding position is, well, it's extremely comfortable. It's a large tank underneath my chin, and I feel as though I could sit here all day. And in fact, I just might. Well, I just come back after a fantastic ride on this brilliant machine, absolutely exhilarating. Now, I'm joined by Stuart Feeney from Colin Appleyard Motorcycles. Now, Stuart, I've had a fantastic ride on this. It's absolutely mind-blowing performance, but who buys a bike like this?
The mature rider who's looking for some sport and leisure. The machines, as you've rightly said, are fantastic. Power is an awful lot to do with the first thoughts of them buying this type of machine. They've obviously owned a sports bike in the past, probably even a Yamaha X-Up that they showed earlier on, because you tend to find that the mature rider is very loyal if the replacement machine is as good. Right. He will invariably use it for an evening run with his friends down to the maybe even to the pub for a non-alcoholic drink, up to local motorcycle meeting places. Not really designed to do big mileages. It is more of a sports bike. Right. Yeah. Touring can come into it slightly with this type of bike if the wife wants to go on the back, but generally it's just a Sunday afternoon run, evening run, and an awful lot of fun, as you just found out. So there you go. Well, that was a fantastic day, a great ride on a fantastic motorcycle. Well, you know, you may have looked at the Kawasaki, the ZX9s, the Honda Fireblades, the Suzuki GSXRs, but next time you're in your local motorcycle dealers, stop and have a look at this. This is the Thunderace, Yamaha's ace in their pack. Fantastic machine. Well, what will I be driving next week? Well, who knows, but you'll have to join me then to find out.
After the break, we're going to go on to the exciting world of boots, if you can call it exciting. Preferably without the awkward customers I get in the shop every week.
Wayne,
hello, Paul.
These boots are very nice, but they're too tight, they don't fit.
Have you tried sticking the tongue out?
I think I feel a bit too tight.
Awkward customers. Today's exciting subject is going to be boots. These things that you can see on the floor. And the one on the right, that's my boot. Size 6 actually, not a real size. I get kids' boots. I get 0 rated VAT sometimes on children's clothes. It's good to be small. There's not a lot to say about boots because, I mean, it's fairly obvious. They go on the end of your feet, they keep your toes warm in the winter. They're fairly smart and stylish and finish off a nice outfit if you've got fancy coloured leathers and so on. They're protective if you choose wisely and you buy the right stuff. More to the point, it's better than wearing a pair of shoes. You'll knacker your shoes up messing around with the gear change and the brake pedal, and on a lot of sports bikes nowadays, and some of the custom bikes, they're steel foot pegs and they can ruin the undersole of your shoe. And at the price of some of modern shoes, I suppose you've got to be careful. So, if you pick a pair of boots that will do the job of two things, that is, so you can wear them on your bike, and as you're wearing them on your bike, they're protecting you. When they're not on your bike and you're walking the streets, they're comfortable to wear. it means you're saving a few quid. It's worth you paying a little extra and getting some good stuff. And just to give you an idea of what the heck I'm on about, if I've totally confused you, they don't look like a motorcycle boot at all, but they are. It's very, very strong, tough leather. These happen to be American. They've got the proper oil-resistant sole, and they're very, very grippy. Good, chunky, hard heel. You can strap them up tight, so they hold you in tight, which is very, very important for protection, because a boot doesn't necessarily stop the impact and stop anything actually damaging your legs, God forbid, but it can happen. What it does really do is hold you together, so those that are about to repair you have an easier job. Something like that, you'd be quite happy wearing those on a custom style machine or even a retro bike, and when you're not on your bike and you've had your jeans tucked in, you pull them out, let them hang over the front here, and you look like you've got a workman style boot, which is general fashion for nowadays. Similarly, if you're into it, I'm not as it happens, but you could be, cowboy style boots. And in this case, this particular one, maybe not so ideal because it's got a smooth sole, but they do produce them with a proper adhesive grippy sole. So when you put your foot down, it doesn't slide away. Quite good for bike use. Just look about when you're buying them, just check that they've perhaps got extra lining in them. 2 layers of leather is obviously going to be more protective than 1. This is a similar boot to the ones we've just spoke about, but this is Italian origin rather than American stuff. The Italians produce some superb stuff. Generally, they are the biggest names in boot manufacturing. Such names as Alpine Stars, in this case, this is a Style Martin. You've got your Godicis, you've got Falcos, Gaerns, numerous, absolutely loads of them. And they're on every high street shop. And they all produce a similar boot to each other. Every different manufacturer, slightly different design, but the same basic type of boot. Such as that one. I'll show you this. This is your chopper style, cowboy style boot, but with the rough sole to help with the grip on the floor. Looks great on a custom bike. This is a boot by a company called Falco, and it happens to sell at 90 quid. When you weigh up, it's got leather lining in it, leather outside, quite a lot of details and care in the production of it. Damn good value for money at 100 quid. Similar again for those who like the sort of brown tan, same as just everyone's own preference. But this is an entirely different style of boot. Chunky, heavy boot. A lot of the motorcycle couriers would wear these because you can get them resoled as you wear the base out because they're stitched on at the bottom here. Reinforced front piece. Quite easy to get on and off with the fast Velcro. If you're riding a sports bike, they're a bit over the top. You don't get the movement and the flex. In fact, I can't even move this particular one. But for hard wearing, long lasting, relatively cheap at 120 quid, especially if you think they're going to last you 3 or 4 times longer than a lightweight pair, the couriers like them, and I can't say I blame them. This is similar, albeit different, in respect that it's as tough as the guy I showed you before, but quite soft and flexible. They've used obviously a type of leather that is quite pliable and pleasant to wear, but still decidedly thick and very, very strong. This is a ski type clip that they put on it, which is adjustable and very, very quick and easy to use. And I suppose you think, well, it's easy to get a pair of boots on. Well, if your fingers are freezing cold, you've done a trip on your bike, you want to get the things off. It's amazing what little differences something as a quick fastener or a Velcro strap makes. These sell at £145 by this company Gaerns, who do produce some damn good boots. If you want an all-round touring style boot, good protection, feel comfortable on, they're quite a good boot to consider. To complete extremes, really, is your race style. And there's some that appear to be a race style, but not the real thing. These up here, that are only just my arm's reach, are proper race style boots. As you can see from the colours, they suit leathers, they suit one-piece racing suits even. The difference being is they're very, very soft and flexible. They're still going to protect you. The aim, again, as I said before, you must tighten them up to hold your leg in place in the case of a misfortune. They're very, very soft and pliable, very, very light to wear, but let's be fair, If you only wear a pair of leather, denim jeans rather than leather jeans or a leather one-piece suit with multicolours on, and you wanted to just look reasonably sort of stylish when you're walking the high street after you've got off your bike, with a pair of purple boots on like that, you'd look a bit of a prat, really. So okay, and just to summarise, for those lads that go to work on the bike and just generally use your bike for pleasure and have not got a specific type of bike, a sports bike, custom bike or whatever, your regular boots, there's absolutely loads of them. Quick fastening Velcro, drawstrings, buckles, loads of things. I just thought I would just generalise and indicate you can have a leather boot from as little as 60 quid, go up to as much as 250 quid. You can even get such as this one, which is actually half price at the moment in the sale. This is just the inside of a boot to show they do it with fancy absorbent liner for sweaty feet syndrome, even a waterproof liner that's sewn in there, so when the rainwater gets through the leather, it won't get through on the inner liner, your feet stay dry. This is a boot made by a company called Altberg, who are made in the UK, which is quite rare, and we've arranged a little trip out to North Yorkshire to see them being produced in the factory, so keep your eye on the programme in a number of weeks. My job is to kit Paul out with a pair of boots because he's doing a road test tomorrow. I haven't got a clue what size he is, but I'll take a pair of them, see if they fit him. Alright, see you soon.
Hi and welcome to Birmingham's Honda Centre, the Sherwood Garage. This is a very, very cold day, but you're with Two Wheels Better. And I've got with me Charlie Turner, who's the manager of the Birmingham Honda Centre. Charlie, it's a bit nippy out here, isn't it?
Oh, it's freezing.
Now this Pan-European that I'm going to be taking out in a few minutes, tell me a little bit about the bike. Why has it been such a hit with the long distance rider, do you think?
Well, really, it's very faultless. It's a superb touring machine. It's good on fuel. It's shaft drive. The actual bike is a superb machine.
And it's very popular with the police and paramedics, isn't it?
That's correct, yes, because of the way it runs and the good full protection, weather protection you've got on it. The handling is good. Even though the machine weighs 298 kilograms, it is still a lightweight bike to ride.
And tell me, one of the things that the Pan has become renowned for is this beautiful engine, the V4 engine. It's dead reliable. There's never been any problems with it whatsoever, has there? Never been any troubles at all. We haven't had to strip one down at all. That is why it sells to the enthusiast who wants to tour Europe, because it's faultless. Well, I know you're pretty keen on it, and tell me, this one in particular, it's got all this luggage kit on it. Can you give us a little demonstration of just how easy it is to get the panniers off?
Yes, I will do that for you.
Well, that was easy enough, wasn't it? But mind you, Charlie is a bit of an expert. It might not have come off that easily for me. Anti-lock brakes, still a bit of a novelty on bikes. In fact, it's only the Pan and BMW who use them at the moment. What have we got here, Charlie, in the what makes anti-lock braking work?
Well, on the front wheel, we have a ring that's fixed to the wheel with a sensor that picks it up and sends it to the main computer, which alters the braking front and rear.
Is the system basically the same as a car? It feeds into the hydraulic system and releases the hydraulic pressure, does it, and keeps sort of switching it backwards and forwards?
That's correct. Yes, that's correct. Yes, it's a very good system for a bike of this sort of weight, and on wet roads or greasy roads you need anti-lock brakes because it's just that much safer.
Well, purely by chance, I have with me an owner of one of the latest Pan-Europeans, young Len here, and Len even happens to be one of our regular viewers, don't you, Len?
I do.
And what do you think of it so far?
Excellent.
Excellent. Now tell me, you've had a Pan before, but you brought this latest projectile. This has got the combined braking system. So why did you go for this one over your other one?
Right, we went over to Spain this year for the Honda Pan-European Rally, and Honda had very wisely taken some of the new model with them and allowed us to, and in fact encouraged us to use them. I was so impressed with the new braking system and the radial tyres that I just had to buy one on safety grounds. That was the story to senior management.
Senior management being your wife, I understand.
Absolutely.
And have you noticed a difference with the combined braking system?
Yes, it's excellent. It really is good. It stops well, wet or dry, from whatever speed.
So it's considerably more expensive, isn't it? About £1,850 more to have the combined braking system, isn't it? Something like that?
Yes, it is about that, but what price safety?
Very good. I couldn't have said it better than myself. Now, Charlie, a hell of a lot of expensive plastic on this by the looks of things, but it has got a little aid just in case you do drop it, turning round, or even if you skid or whatever. What's it got to protect your investment?
That's correct, Jeff. It's got crash bars built into the side of the fairing, which take the damage, most of the damage. Also, the mirror covers pop off, as you can see, and then they pop on for easy removal and damage.
All right then, Charlie. Well, look, thanks very much for explaining the pros and cons of the Pan-European. I'm going to take this one out now for a quick spin. And the sun's coming out, so even though it's cold, I hope to enjoy myself. So thanks very much again.
You're welcome, anytime. I hope you enjoy it, Jeff.
Thank you. This is the bike the police forces and paramedics are going for in droves. Introduced in 1990, it took a while to get established, but now it's seen as the definitive high-speed tourer. Its engine is unique, being a longitudinal V4, but it sets it up nicely for a highly civilised shaft drive. Producing 100 brake horsepower, this torquey, super smooth 16-valve V can whisk the Pan's 290 kilos along to an indicated 135 miles an hour with no trouble at all, and all in total comfort. Mile munching is its speciality. Just ask any of the dedicated Pan clan, but handling is also good. You don't throw a bike like this around anyway, but give it its head and it'll hustle along quite nicely, thank you very much. Travel broadens the mind, of course, and depending on just how broad it is, the Pan comes with integrated panniers and an optional top box for all your worldly goods. A full tank gives you a range of well over 200 miles, but when mile munching comes to an end, you have to stop, and this one comes to a halt in the same drama-free way that it goes, thanks to a bit more sophistication, anti-lock brakes. The ABS takes some getting used to, slamming on the brakes, especially in the wet, and finding that you just don't skid. But as this should only happen in emergencies, it doesn't affect day-to-day riding. If that isn't enough for you though, this has also got traction control. Yes folks, just in case you take too big a handful as you gas it over that alpine pass, the ignition will retard and stop you spinning that back wheel. So with ABS and TCS, this is a bike with all the toys. Well, nearly. You can go one better and have a Pan with combined braking system too. That will mean you will have a, wait for it, a Honda ST1100 Pan-European CBS ABS with TCS. Mind you, doing without the CBS will save you £1,850, but just remember, you'll have to keep on your toes.